Hey, we are back, but it doesn't matter. It's really important. So, Mohammad, you mentioned, and I do thank you. You could have easily said no interest. We don't want to show up here. And as someone, as middle child, I would say middle child of 7. I'm always looking for love where we can find it. And I certainly have a ton of friends in the Jewish community, and certainly friends in the Middle East community, if you want to use that. I guess. Where do we go? I mean, how do we? I guess it's a utopic to say how does it stop? And do you get that right now? The temperature's high in terms of what was seen as the attack, the attack on the Israeli community.
Right, and I mean, this is the second time you keep saying the attack on the Israeli community, respectfully, right? Okay. You know, there have been 3,500 people at least to this day. Yesterday, an Anglican church in Gaza, not even Muslim, was bombed. 500 to 1,000 casualties. The Human Rights Watch has confirmed the use of internationally outlawed chemical weapons, white phosphorus. You know, that boils at 1,500 degrees Fahrenheit, right? You can hear the passion in my voice. People have pulled out over 1,000 babies in pieces so far from under the rubble in Gaza. And all we're hearing about is supposed attacks by Hamas, that so much of which have yet to be confirmed. We have our own U.S. president say, I saw images of babies being decapitated, and the White House themselves had to come out and say, actually, he didn't see that, right? And now our president is saying, if you want to even bring it locally, the president is saying there's an uptick in domestic threats, and so we're sort of mobilizing federal and local law enforcement, 9/11 all over again. And so the Muslim community right now, without mincing words, feels under attack by this vilifying language. And this is not hypotheticals or theoreticals or potentially being under attack by being dehumanized for standing up against the atrocities in Gaza. We have little Wadia, a 6-year-old boy in Chicago, has been stabbed to death 26 times by his 71-year-old landlord that's been binging on mainstream media, right? The bias in the narrative, the one-sidedness, right? And the bullying of the Muslim community. Do you condemn Hamas is a question that you're probably too considerate to ask. But everywhere Muslims go, do you condemn Hamas? Yeah. Well, we don't represent Hamas, number one. Hamas is the elected government, number two. The people in Gaza right now didn't even elect that government. Many people don't know. Gaza, as former U.S. president said, is the largest open-air prison in the world. A densely populated strip of shore, 60 miles long, where the majority of people there are depossessed or displaced from other parts of Palestine. So they're refugees into Gaza, right? And yet you have the Israeli defense ministers and otherwise saying they voted them in, saying we're dealing with human animals. And so the Muslim community right now will consistently, you will find them reluctant to condemn Hamas because it's a diversion. It's a distraction from the genocide. You know, according to UN law, people, hear me out for a second, people that are deprived of food, water, electricity, people that are carpet bombed and civilians being targeted, sniping down journalists so the other side of the narrative doesn't get out, medical centers, firebombing this and with a missile strike a hospital yesterday. These are war crimes. This is not a media narrative. These are established, confirmed war crimes that we can't hold the U.S. accountable for. Right? We don't expect them. It's not surprising to hear alignment because this is their colonial outpost. We get it. It's their nuclear ally. We get it. But the Muslims will continue to do that despite the fact that I'm getting calls right now. There was a gun pulled on a Muslim in Harrisburg. I got to figure out, was this hate related or not? I just heard of another in Montclair University. Got to figure out whether it's not.
I want to give you all the time I can, but I
appreciate it. No, so I'll end here. What I'm saying is the question on do we condemn? It's actually, we believe it is a diversion. If I say yes, they say that's why Israel's attacking with wild disproportionality, which is a war crime. And if we say no, we don't condemn, then we are terrorists like them.
I see. So
that's where the festering is.
Do you say, though, because I appreciate you bringing that up, because I really do, and to put the Hamas out on the table, but do you say, why do they have to, I mean, why do they have to make this happen? In other words, when this happened, are you saying, oh my gosh, why did Hamas have to do that? I guess is the question.
No, because I don't even know what happened.
Okay.
Should I not be? Everyone is distrusting of the media. Let's be honest. It's just the media that doesn't align with your preconceived notions you're untrusting of. So we all agree that in principle, the media lies, right?
Right.
The beheaded babies is officially debunked, never happened, and people are still peddling this lie, okay? Sort of attacking the people at the festival. We don't even know, has that even happened yet or not?
Okay.
If any of that happened, Muslims are blue in the face, pre and post 9/11, pre and post ISIS. Innocent civilians are never to be killed. Innocent life is sanctified across the board.
Okay.
The fraternity of humanity is centrally Islamic. But all of that is a red herring to get us from holding the world accountable for not holding Israel accountable for its war crimes.
But you do acknowledge this. You don't want to see this continue on. It was an atrocity. You don't want to see it
Absolutely not.
Gotcha.
We are not speaking up except in the name of innocent lives being lost, and that only a portion of them that potentially have been attacked by Hamas are the only ones seen as human. Everyone else is dehumanized, sideswiped out of the conversation.
All right. Wish we had 5 more hours. Business Matters. Be right back for our final session.